So we fade back in, and we see Jamie going underneath the ship to the cargo area, and between the shadows, like sort of mixed in between them, you see a figure of a woman, maybe about your age. It's not really clear whether they're, really young in their 20s or just a kid, but they're there, and they're sort of hunched over the one of the crates, and they seem to be sort of like leaning down, and they seem to be like performing some kind of action, but you can't tell exactly what they're doing. And they don't seem to have actually noticed you yet.
Going to suddenly appear behind them. Cat and what? And before they can say hi, their cat sudden nudges up and starts to rub up against the young woman. Oh wow, oh wow. Jasper usually isn't that friendly to strangers.
Oh, well, that is very weird. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm a little lost. Could you help me? She's like has her hands behind her back, and she's like looking around, and you see her. She has very like sort of long auburn hair, very colorful looking eyes. And she's wearing sort of this very strange, like, sort of uniform kind of thing, like a sailor almost, or maybe like a schoolgirl or something. It looks very, like, out of place.
What were you trying to find?
Well, I was looking for the captain. Yes, the captain of the ship. Could you please tell me where he is? I am very curious as to where he might be.
Well, the last time I saw him, he was on deck. Oh! You definitely want to go to the deck. They're having a tea party.
Oh, that sounds nice. Yes. Well, what are you doing down here?
Oh, I'm trying to find ingredients for the cake. Have
Oh,
you seen
yes.
any flour?
That is what you were doing here. I knew that, right? But you don't know I know that, right? So, over there's the flower. She points toward the like the crate that she had opened up.
Points towards bag of cyanide.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be on my way. Have a nice night. Well, it's not day anymore.
My character is going to be walking down by this point.
Because the sun is dead, and of course there is no daytime. So
step.
Permanent night and all that. She bumps into you. Oh, excuse me.
Do I recognize her at all before? Have I seen her on the ship before? I have been here for a while.
No, let me put it to you this way. If she was, you would know. That's the thing. Like, if she was on the ship before, you would recognize her, but you haven't seen her before.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and like grab her by the arm and be like, "So what are you doing down here?"
Okay, you basically, she like pushes you off.
Okay.
And tries to like don't grab me. That's rude.
At the same time, Jamie shouts out, "No grabbing! That's rude."
At the in sync, like the exact same. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she speaks up and she goes like, "Well, little boy, I've never seen this person on here before. So either she's a stowaway, or she's been here by someone else's recollection. Does the captain know you're here?"
Oh,
she nods.
She wanted to find the captain.
Yes, the captain knows I'm here. Yes, he does. He asked me to come.
Well, let me just bring you to him. Let's go.
Oh, good. I wanted to see him.
Come on, then. Oh, and the flower should be at the end of this room.
Okay.
Should be in a red little crate.
All right, Jamie.
Steer clear of blue crates or already opened crates.
Hmm.
There you go, Bubba.
Okay. Things happens. Jamie goes to the by a window in the storeroom. A little bit of pouring out.
Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe no one notices. It doesn't look like Jamie has a shadow.
No.
But maybe that's actually XP action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Shadow.
I'll give you that one then.
Just say do that. Use divine housekeeping 3 right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
To make sure he wants to make sure it's a matter of habit and that no one has messed with anything in here.
You're fairly sure that someone has like messed with something here. Like it's all out of place. Very dirty. You know, there's flour all over the floor. There's flour all over. And this is something you'd notice, by the way. There's flour all over that woman's hands. Like as she was, you would realize that like as she's being grabbed, like, and like because before she had her hands behind her back, but now like when Nanika tried to like grab her arm, you could see that she had like flour on her hands. And she's been like tracking it up the as she went up the stairs. So you notice like there's this trail of flour that's like leading up.
Okay, that's so weird. Jamie calls up for her just before she leaves and says, hey, were you trying to get were you trying to bake a cake too?
She's like struggles to answer for a moment. Well, you're making a cake, right? Well, I could help.
Oh, really? That'd be awesome.
I'm already aware of how to make a cake. You need to talk to the captain first anyway, so let's go. Come on.
She's like reluctantly like going with you. Like she because here's the interesting thing. Like she was obviously strong enough to fight you before, but once you start mentioning the captain, she seems to have calmed down.
Yeah. So I bring her upstairs and to where like the captain's wheel is.
Okay. So Jamie, continue then.
All right. So, and that's the only thing he finds out of place.
Okay. Let me just send you a little text real quick for you. Okay. So like right now I'd be on one side and then you tell me when you flip it back over because that actually does, I think it gets you XP as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because that's also on the cooldown, but you let me know so that you, okay.
After that scene to flip it over.
Okay, so then we'll go back to this tea party is still getting set up. Do either of the two of you, Tierna or Rosalise, want to do anything sort of in the background while this is happening? Because Tierna, you'd be like moving out from your.
Take your clothes out of the dryer eventually. Like soon, eventually.
Okay.
Well, while I'm sitting there, birds will obviously start gathering around me,
Right.
trying to pick at the tea.
Yeah, and it seems interesting because these birds seem to be gathering as this woman is coming up. To you, it's this very clear sign of ominous encroaching danger.
Oh crap!
You know, because it's so cliche, but it's totally happening. Like these birds totally start coming down, like as this woman comes up from the deck, and it's to you clearly like a cliche of some kind of encroaching darkness.
She's paying attention though. Is it foreshadowing?
Well, it's definitely foreshadowing something. So, like, are you actually paying attention to that? Because that'd be on your end, like.
Yeah, I would. I would notice all of the birds gathering around.
Okay, so that's a no.
I would try to pet one of them.
Okay. So yeah, because these birds are coming in, they're coming towards the mast and such, and you would try to pet one of them, and it squawks in like sort of defiance at you.
I assume these birds are ravens.
You can assume that, yes.
Oh, so you mean Lavender's here? I'm kidding.
They don't seem to be very friendly, and they peck at your hand when you try to pet them.
Well, you are very nice. All right.
There aren't enough of them to actually like harm you in any significant way, unless you wish to take a wound from that.
So I'm assuming not me, but she gets the foreshadowing because she
Oh
paid
yeah,
attention.
no, she's the one. Yeah, gets that.
Good job.
It's sort of a combination with the quest thing, so it's like it works.
Right.
So yeah. So we'll move to the bridge.
Okay.
And so this woman comes up to the captain, and she says to the captain,
I keep her at a safe distance, like maybe like a couple feet away, and like I try to address him and say like I found her beneath the deck.
"Oh, she is with me. It's not a well. You see, sometimes I require some help. You see, and I requested that she come aboard. It's not a thing you need to worry about. I'll make sure she's taken care of."
And she like looks at like the woman's hands and then lifts them up.
Janie,
And
you
she's
shouldn't-
got flour all over her hands.
You shouldn't scare our guest, Janie. That's how do you put it? It's very rude. Yes, that. I'm sorry I didn't tell you that she was coming aboard. He seems to like he doesn't call you by name.
Right. And she just kind of shakes her head and she goes like, "Well, I suppose it's fine. I just need to know these things ahead of time. If I can't help you if I don't know situations like this."
He's sort of seems confused.
Right. And she looks over at the woman real quick. What is she doing right this moment?
She's just sort of like, I mean, assuming that like, are you holding like what are you? How are you holding onto her still, or is she just sort of like?
Yeah, I've got like a hand on her shoulder. Pretty much, that's about it.
Yeah. So she's just sort of standing there, and she's very focused on the captain, like with her eye line. But beyond that, she's just sort of standing there, and she doesn't really seem to be doing anything that you've determined to be too suspicious. She's just kind of standing there awkwardly.
And so I'm gonna go ahead and
like she doesn't really belong here.
Right.
All right, I sent you a text real quick.
I'm gonna go ahead and like turn her away from the captain, and I'm gonna be like, "All right, well then, I suppose since she's allowed to be here, we should at least get her some sort of sense of lodging instead of being downstairs."
Oh well, there are enough beds, aren't there?
I'm sure enough, but I can escort her.
Okay.
Does she know her way around fully yet?
He like looks toward her, and she's like, I've been scouting around, like you asked."
Yes, I can see that with your hands.
Oh, this is just
flour. Do try to keep your hands out of her stores.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just keep that in mind for future reference.
She's nodding. Or I can
the captain may be more
picture if you think that would help.
That would be nice. The captain may be more lenient on such things, but since I'm the quartermaster, I have to keep things in check. That includes our stores.
Just give me a moment. I'll show you the picture.
Yeah, you're fine.
It's in the chat for everyone.
Okay, let me look.
Yeah, her eyes have like 2 different colors, and they sort of
Yeah.
are very alien
Oh,
looking.
just so you guys know, I'm sure you've seen the picture already, but like Jamie's also heterochromatic as well.
Yeah, that's
Eyes is pink.
right. So you escort her to her room.
Cool. I'm just looking at something real quick.
Oh, no problem. Take your
Okay.
time. So what's going on at this tea party? Are you all sort of getting settled at this point, or?
Yeah, I got tired of waiting for everyone to show, so I just started sipping the tea and
Okay.
drinking it.
Right. So you're just sipping tea.
Yeah, I'm just like staring at the birds all crowding around nonchalantly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and bring her to one of the rooms.
Tina,
and, one of the open
you
rooms.
are you like drinking this tea or partaking in this party in any way, or are you just sort of? Really
I'd say
not
she'd
interested.
make her, after coming out of her little world, she'd make her way to the closest mast, and seeing that someone had begun drinking, it would remind her of what she did when her friends got together, and she'd take out her violin, now in the real life, and begin playing it.
Okay. So you're doing that.
Yeah, I guess as he begins to play, I mean, since there's like no one else around me to talk to because I don't want to interrupt him playing, I just start talking to ravens.
Okay. So what do you say to the ravens?
I say, "Yo, ravens, would you like some tea? You seem to be
thank you.
enjoying this table."
No, thank you.
Wait, they respond back to me?
Yes.
Oh no.
Isn't that interesting?
No, thank you. And you're not expecting them to talk back, so.
Are you
What?
frozen with shock?
Yes, I am frozen with shock. What the
Hey!
heck?
Okay, so that's a double combo.
Yep.
So you like you aren't sure if
Combo.
you're not sure if you want to say anything back because now you're just like, oh, what am I talking about?
Hint, hint. If somebody wants to help her calm down, hint, hint.
How exactly is it?
Oh,
So how exactly are you going into shock here? Like, what is it like?
I'm just speechless. Like the cup almost
Right.
drops and shatters. It doesn't shatter, but it like tilts on the table. And then I assume Mara's nearby, but I'm totally ignoring her, and she's the one
Right.
that like rights the cup.
Right.
And all I can think about is like that first time with Eclipse when he sauntered into my bookstore as a raven.
Right. Right. Very, very true. So you're sort of having flashbacks of the traumatic kind, not the happy, sort of.
No, because I'm focusing more on the bad parts of our relationship, not the happy moments.
And Mara's just sort of like very sort of she can't hear these birds squawking toward you, so she's just sort of like crossing her arms, like thinking that you've gone insane.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
It's like, oh, this must be normal for you. All right.
Right.
But
But
so
anybody
Jamie,
I'd say
they could help her, but that's up to them.
so Jamie, were you going to do anything? I'm sorry.
all right. So, Jamie emerges from the
The lower deck.
lower deck. Ingredients. Sees the shattered tea for what happened, and just so he does
Oh,
that.
it wasn't shattered. It was almost shattered, but Mara corrected it.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
she would have
okay.
caught the.
Oh,
I won't allow
he
you to
looks
make
at-
a mess on.
Yeah, but she looks like she has like a horrified expression, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. As he's as Jaskus sprints forward and starts chasing after the raven.
nevermore, nevermore.
Haha.
Let me send this to you real quick. Hold on.
Help! Help! They start flying away.
Let me ask you. Let me send you something real quick, Nova. It'll be over Discord.
Are all the ravens disappeared?
No, they're not disappearing, but they're just flying into the distance.
Okay, I slowly start to come out of it.
Help! Help us! They like start flapping their wings and like start flying like off the back. I don't remember what it's called. Back aft end of the ship. Shit.
I start to play the Jaws theme as they go away.
Jamie comes up, like, tries to catch Jasper running around the table, says, "No, bad Jasper. They're friends, not food."
Fish are friends, not food.
So friends, not food.
I just didn't want to interrupt. All right.
Let's see. So from here, let's go back to Monica. So you are in the cabins with this strange woman who was named Janie by the captain.
Yeah.
You don't need to be so rude, you know. Janie's saying this to you.
I was just mainly doing my job. That's all.
No, I'm just doing my job too.
And what's your job?
Well, if I told you, then I wouldn't be a very good. Well, I can't say. That's.
Well, how am I supposed to trust you, or anything of that?
Well, I mean, maybe you.
I want to get along with you.
Oh, you do? Well, that's interesting. No one's ever said that to me before.
I just don't know if I can trust you as much, not knowing what your job is here.
Oh, well, my job is very simple, but it's also very complicated. I guess that's sort of a paradox, isn't it?
Some jobs are. They're easy at times, but they're difficult at others.
Well, you're sort of getting in the way of my job, so if you don't stop, I'm going to have to do something about that.
But what is your job? It'd help to know what it is so that I don't get in your way.
Well, if I tell you...
Otherwise, I'll keep getting in your way.
Well, if I tell you, then I'd have to kill you, obviously. That's how my job works. So I don't think I should tell you, because then you'll be dead.
What, are you some sort of assassin?
And keep in mind, she actually does say kill and dead. Like, she's being serious.
But then, she denounces, she goes, oh, I'm sorry, I was trying to think that out of character.
I'm trying to show how much of a break this is from what you, because she's actually being serious. So like she's like saying, "I will kill you," and it's a big deal.
God damn it! Hold on, pause this.
She is not talking about turning somebody into a ghost. No.
Hold on. Come on, come here, girl. No, it's just I was replying to somebody and then I had to pause. Come on, baby.
So,
alright, hold on. Give me just 1 second.
Okay, no problem. I'll wait.
There, she's upstairs. I need to go downstairs again so I can start reading. And I'm going to go ahead and say, so what, are you some sort of assassin then?
Well, I mean, if I need to get rid of you in order for my goals to be met, then maybe. She's like
the problem here is that I don't know what your goals are. And if I knew what your goals were, I might be able to help you. But if you can't tell me, then...
Oh, you'd help?
Possibly.
Oh, that's great.
But I mean, I guess it really depends. Are you willing to work together?
Oh, well, I'd love to work with someone. The more the merrier. I'm mostly basing off I'm assuming you're using your skill here.
Yeah, I'm using my skill.
Okay, that's fair. So so the idea is that
I'm trying to use work together to basically
right.
alert her to the idea of possibly working together.
Right. So she's like, well, perhaps we could work together. I think that would be nice. You seem fairly strong. She's like feeling your
Why, thank you. You seem
your
very
arms.
competent. I'm sure you have many plans.
Not as strong as me or my master, but strong. So
Do
if you're
tell.
willing to help us, I could maybe let you in on the plan.
I am interested in what you have to say.
Yes. Well, here, let me he sort of leans in and sends Silver a private message. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, go ahead.
Give me a moment.
I'll wait.
I don't know where this is going.
I'll give you a moment. I'll move over to the others while you sort of contemplate that. So,
Oh!
meanwhile, at the tea party,
Why, yes.
you were. So is Jamie? So Jamie, you were doing what exactly? You came up out from the lower deck and
He tried to like corral Jasper and stop them from eating the ravens.
right, and then but you like as you do that, you see that Rosalise is sort of stunned in shock, and there's this constant sort of background noise of this violin that sort of reverberates in the background and creates this sort of somber soundtrack to the whole thing.
Jamie looks at her and looks very worried. He goes, "Oh,
I just sent you a question in
did you
return.
see something?" So he looks at Rosalie and says, "Oh my, did you see something wrong?"
No, more like heard something terrible.
Did Mr. Fabio say he was going to turn someone into a ghost again? Jamie just looks at the demon with a very pointed glare.
What the? I didn't do anything. He's like raising his arms, like I didn't do anything, and then he kisses his. No, see, I didn't.
What was it?
What you
He asked
think?
Rosalie.
You think just because I'm a demon that I hurt someone? That is very, very racist.
So he turns to Rosalie. Well, if it's not Mr. Fabio, what happened?
Okay, this may sound crazy, but the raven spoke to me again.
Was it rude?
Was it rude?
No.
Jamie seems absolutely nonplussed by this.
I like how Jamie is like constantly just like the worst thing you can be is rude.
Absolutely. Very about manners.
I was taught
Well,
well.
now that I think about it,
Well, what did it
he
say?
declined my offer for tea.
Oh, well, that's not so bad. You shouldn't be so. I mean, some people don't like tea. Some people like milk.
You sort of feel the shock of this whole situation sort of overwhelm you a bit. How are you? And I mean, like when I say that, I mean almost like physically, you feel it overwhelming you, as if the world around you is just sort of becoming more and more overwhelming. How are you going to deal with that? Like, how are you going to?
I looked down at the, still warm and intact tea that
Mhm.
Mara's hand is enclosed, and I snatch it away from her.
Yeah.
And I look into the cup,
Mm-hmm.
and using, my skilled tea drinking abilities, I just take a sip and take another sip and just concentrate on the tea and let it relax me.
Oh, that's so good. Okay.
Taking a sympathetic action on yourself.
I like that. No, that's actually
That's
very
pretty
fun.
good self-resolving.
I'm gonna give you that one. Hold on. It's very
Nice.
very clever.
Good job.
Okay. So yes, you sort of allow this tea to sort of soothe your shock
Nerves.
and soothe your nerves, yes. And then just make some marks there. And from that point, everything is sort of normalized. So we move back to the scene in the cabin, and Janie has just whispered something to Nanika.
Yeah. And she whispers something back real quick. First.
Okay.
She goes,
So you're all like whispering back and forth. I see. Very.
oh, I forgot.
There's a noise in the background. I don't know what it is. It's like a mouse.
Reverb.
That's what she asked.
Okay. So what are the three of just to I actually want to ask this to Morg. So with this music playing, how much will are you investing in that intention? Because you've been sort of doing this consistently for the So usually you need to make an intention for that. And you can invest 0, but I'm asking like just for the sake of.
I'm gonna say 2, just because she's really focusing and she's just playing with all of her heart right now.
Okay. So you are creating effective music, like you're actually doing, like, you're playing well, and you're actually feeling
it's also dynamic, like it changes, like as the, like when the Ravens.
Oh, so it's like you are the soundtrack of this. So it's like
Yeah,
you're
like
actually
she's almost like a
actively-
musical narrator. Like when the Ravens, like when it first began, it was kind of like happy and jittery. But then when the Ravens came and they came up from the deck, it started going slower and ominous.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. So you're kind of moving with the mood.
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay, that's great. So you're doing that. And then so as you calm down, Rosalise, what is the next sort of action that you take afterwards? If not,
Let's see. Well,
I mean, you could share tea with Jamie. That's definitely something that like you could.
oh
do.
yeah, Jamie, you're finally at the table, right?
Right. I mean, at this
Yeah.
point, I'm wondering if you're actually like physically like sitting or what.
Yeah, no, at this moment, yeah, I'm sitting, and as I see more people around, I start pouring out the tea and begin sipping a new batch.
I'm gonna send you a message.
Go ahead.
Oh wait, you can't do main quest more than once, right?
Yeah, the main one's at the top. You don't do more than once.
Oh yeah,
But you
so
get-
I
you get
already
two-
accomplished the first one. That's right.
Okay, but you get 2 for that, so you'd have to tell me.
Yeah,
So
yeah, because remember we already accomplished that earlier. You said you gave it to me. Because remember when I
Okay.
helped the others, I just
So
didn't
then
mark
you'd
it.
have
I
one.
forgot.
You'd have 1 extra then.
Because you gave me 1 from earlier before. I just forgot to say
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that
'cause-
was a main quest.
Okay. So Jamie is typing to me,
And I marked that I can't take it again. So.
and I'm
Alright.
assuming Rosalise is just inviting you to sit.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so Jamie starts sipping on the tea. I assume it's fairly good.
It is very good.
So Jamie's sipping on tea. You know, so hey, your name. So what's your name again?
Rosalise?
Rosalise. Didn't you say you knew? Didn't you? You seem like you knew something about where Mr. Fabio comes from.
No, I know nothing about Mr. Fabio, but I've seen talking ravens before, and they scare me a little bit.
Talking about,
You
oh,
no
I was
no
talking about
Fabio
when you-
Fabio seems fairly angry, and he's like, "You have not heard of me."
No. He says like no. When he mentioned the third circle of hell, you seem very
Oh, the third circle of hell. No, that's a Dante reference from the book, The Inferno.
He's just sort
You
of.
have, you have a book
I
about
don't remember
Mr.
giving anyone
Fabio's
any
home?
permission to write about my home. This is a breach of my privacy.
Oh, do you know how to get there? Does it say in the book?
It does, actually. But it's a bit obscure. We need to be in the middle of our life and strand on a sort of deserted mountain. And then Virgil will appear and guide us to hell.
Oh, I don't think there's going to be any mountains
I think
anywhere either. He just looks around. There's just ocean.
Is there a mountain?
Is there?
I'm wondering.
Clear, there's a mountain.
Well,
Jamie
do you
just
see?
No,
do you see
there is no mountain.
I mean, if
Oh,
it's just
maybe
ocean, that's one.
A mountain slowly rises up from the ocean.
Okay, well, who's declaring this? So is it you? Are you saying that's happening? Like you're just like.
Yes, as I play
I'm
my
declaring that it's
violin,
not.
I declare it as possible because my music.
That's a bit extreme for a 4 intention. You're just going to make mountains sprout from the water.
You might want to use a miracle point for that one.
No, but I definitely allow it then. If you're just gonna like supernaturally use this music to summon.
What are miracle points? What?
You all get one.
We all have
miracle
one.
point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what are they used for?
Essentially, you can use them to for this one shot. You essentially can use them to make any action that you perform magical.
Okay, cool.
Well, then I'm gonna save that for now. No.
And then I
so-
think you and Jamie also have actual magical powers because you're weird.
Because you're weird. All right. Anyway.
But no, there's no mountain. There's no mountain that suddenly emerges from the water. But you don't see any landforms in the distance. But that doesn't mean it isn't somewhere.
So Jamie looks at him disappointed. Well, I'm sure
by the
we'll
way,
find one.
XP for Rosalie's because mythology is awesome. Mythology, literary, And I think Mara is just going to counter, and she's like, "Well, you can't just follow instructions in a work of fiction and expect it to work."
Mara, it's not. How do you know it's fiction? It's an eyewitness account.
She's like, and then you're just like, "No, it's clearly fiction. Don't you understand?" No, and now she's starting to argue with you.
He points to Mr. Fabio. Doesn't he prove it's real?
Shut up! I didn't ask you. I'm talking to this vile woman over here. She clearly
I also exist.
Angel says, "I also exist."
Gently flaps wings. They continue to play.
This is insane. Mara just like.
By the way, purgatory isn't all it's cracked up to be.
She just like starts like fuming, and she's like, "This is ridiculous. I must be hallucinating. I need to lie down."
Also, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
Okay, I don't know what you're doing, but
I'm gonna go ahead and impose my keep.
okay. So how are you doing that?
So I'm basically
Like
I
what
said-
happens? No, it's like what happens. Like
Okay, so shall I describe it?
yeah.
Alright. So upon hearing this woman's words, etc., she proceeds to I guess I should say that she goes like, well, let's see. The proper response to this would be, and then suddenly like the room starts to shift, and so does half of the ship begins to shift as well because of its superimposing, because of how big it is.
I gently start to play the Jaws theme.
Yeah. So, a theater infused with magic, singing out a choir of voices that harmonize to relax those that listen to them, both soft but loud, silencing for those that wish not to hear it, their musical notes and amplifying for those that want even more. You see rose petals that dance slowly around the theater's length, and in glorious display, breaking away into nothing as they touch the floor, leaving no mess behind, and merely existing for but a few brief moments for those that look upon it and bask in its beauty. gold and red lavishing the walls, and plentiful decorations all about. There seems to be a like an audience that lingers in things with shadowed faces. You can't really tell what they look like. They're watching and interested in what's going on, but they haven't begun to clap just yet.
Okay.
And with her appearing at the centerfold with this other woman, everybody's eyes seem to have a fixation onto her, or at least more so than normal.
So, how much will do you have at this point?
I have 6 out of 8.
Okay, so I'll give you that back.
Okay, so I'm at 8.
But you have to tell me, because you've done something that's clearly impossible. How does it hurt?
How does it hurt?
What consequence does it have? Because you've just basically, made a miracle happen.
Is it a miracle? I thought you could superimpose it. I thought that was my magical trait.
No, you can.
Yeah.
It's sort of this thing where you can. So you are logically, like, by the laws of the universe allowed to do this thing, but the other law says that if you do something that is clearly sort of, they kind of collide in a way, but they sort of are interrelated. So
Right.
you are allowed to do this, but because you've done something that sort of, they trigger each other. So you don't need to spend anything to actually, like, do this, because you can do it. But then the problem is that you've done something that's sort of impossible.
Right, okay. Also, for those that are curious, I'm posting an image that's on that's about the theater. So just give me a moment. It'll be in the Discord in just a moment here.
The Marvel Phantasm of
Here, 1 second.
like that.
So you're saying I essentially have to take a wound in this case?
Well, you tell me how it affects. You can choose to take a wound. That's an option that you have. Yeah.
Here, 1 second. What is okay, theater? There it is. Okay, cool. All right. So if you pay attention to the Discord, you'll see what it looks like now. As soon as I can hit enter. There you go. So that's what other people find themselves in.
Mm-hmm.
So would it be, like, rough to say that, like, my legs ache and they feel like they're, like, pained?
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because you're effectively, like, creating this space out of nowhere, and your legs kind of buck upwards as you do this. So it's like you're not used to the space where it's supposed to be, and now it's suddenly here, and, like, your legs kind of get shoved upwards. So you have, like, 3 wound boxes. So in the middle one, that's gonna look like let me show you. So it would look exactly like the way I'm doing it here. The middle one would probably just put a slash through it, so you can mark that wound. And then you actually get an effect from the wound if you look at it would be a surface wound if you look at the cheat sheet.
Okay. So it's like, so my legs basically are hurting right now, but it's not something I can't.
But
it's not like they're snapped or broken. It's just like they're aching really badly.
So you get to choose one of the wound.
Okay. Way to choose a thing here. Tool and actions. You're playing up the wound, a level 1 bond related to the wound. An HD can quickly agree on how it works. Level 2 magical superior skill related to the wound. So how would the last one work?
Well, that would be some kind of skill that would be related to the wound. I don't know how you would get any kind of magical or superior ability from, like, this specific wound. So I'd probably relate to one of the other 2. More likely the first one would be easiest.
So how do tools work?
Essentially, it's just a +1 bonus to the action that you're taking.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the tool.
Okay, so your legs are sort of, injured, but
The audience
know.
is cheering you on.
yeah, the audience is cheering you on. And so that's kind of where we take our next break. So, from this, you're all now in this gigantic theater that's now superimposed over the ship. And everyone's sort of clapping as everyone sort of makes their appearance. And the captain is even kind of bowing in front of the spotlight.
Yeah, but the main focus is upon her for the most part.
And underneath the
She's the
spotlight,
owner of this.
you can see that his shadow sort of is very long and sort of very like vivid and alive almost. It doesn't look like it matches the captain's like appearance. So
Right.
it's like much taller than him, and it has a different shape.
So with me noticing that, would that count as foreshadowing?
Well, no. This is where we take our break. So this is the transition.
Okay, it would be the transition.
So I will give Silver that one because it is.
So how much XP do we have all together?
Right.
I will let you know during the break. Hold on. I need to go.
Also, do I have to do intention with this?
With the theater,
Yeah.
if you'd like, yeah.
I'll
Make it
impose.
easier for you to-
Yeah, I'll impose 2 will upon it, so I'll be back at 6.
Okay, and then how much is the total?
The total, the theater is 3, but the total would be 5.
So you have 5. Okay, that's great. So you've managed to create this theater that shocks and surprises everyone in a positive way, not a negative way. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, and then by the way, you get your will back after the action is completed, so you'd actually have 7.
Okay, so I have 7 right now. Then. Okay, cool.
Could I just continue playing to this
Yeah.
theater?
No, you can continue playing inside the theater. Yes.
Yeah, and the best part about that is that the music seems to like the vocals that you guys can hear seems to actually go in tune with your music.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So essentially I just fly into there and I just begin to play with them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you'd probably be on like one of the higher banisters.
Mhm.
That if you're looking at it in the Discord, you'd be on one of those, so you'd already be still perched. It would just be along the lines that like you could play your violin at the same time if you wanted.
So then for Silver, could you post me sort of like a choir so that I have that sort of moving?
The choir, yes.
Well, so like what you imagine being played, and then I'll take the break on that because that's how transitions work. You usually post something to evocate the transition, and then we move from that. Okay, so.